Okay, hi. It's been a couple of days. I have missed you all very, very much. My name is Christopher Runsman, for those that don't know. This is One Page Story Extravaganza, episode 176. 176? So, this weekend I was away. I was at London Comic Con, which I'm the art director guy, art liaison, whatever the heck you call it. And it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. There was all kinds of folks there, and we got a chance to meet a number of people that met a few people that have been tuning into the streams here that I hadn't had a chance to meet in person, and that was kind of cool, as well as a chance just to connect with people. I've got up on the screen our standard ask, which is if you have a one-page story for me to do, let me know. Okay? Because, we're having fun with that. So I'll take that off. Hey, everybody. If you get a chance, go check out Frank Salazar's channel, Roll for Chiraco. We had a fun interview, possibly the funniest interview I've ever seen, with he had Jim Luan on, and it just devolved into absolute joy. It was just generally fun. And we all found out enough specific personal questions about both of them that any self-respecting computer hacker should be able to take out NASA with that much information. You'll have to tune in to Roll for Chiraco's latest stream, because it's a lot of fun. Professional animator Jim Luan being interviewed by Frank, so it's fantastic. Frank asks, how did you like the relaunch? Well, I just said absolute joy. It went off the rails in a good way. That's a good way to put it. I like that a lot, frankly. Okay, so normally on the stream, I got today's page up. Today's page is from a fellow I met at the con named Muhammad, and his suggestion was, my mother keeps embarrassing me, which is the first line in the page. And so I talk about some of the things that, mothers can do. Which Frank says the authorities are knocking on my door. Uh-oh. They're here to tell you to stop giving away all your secret information so hackers don't get you. Okay, so I met a fellow named Muhammad at the show, and if Muhammad's tuned in, and hi, welcome, and thank you for your suggestion. His suggestion was, my mother keeps embarrassing me, so I thought about all the different ways that moms embarrass their kids. This isn't specifically about my mom by any means, although the one embarrassment, it wasn't embarrassing. It was just like, well, there you go. I had an exhibition that I was in, and I was speaking to a very prominent person in the art community. He was the head of the largest gallery in the region. And my mother told him she always knew I was going to be an artist because of how much I wrecked the wallpaper beside my crib as a baby. Your own imagination will do whatever it will. So, hey, Aditi, welcome aboard. So, thanks, Mom. But in this case, all these things described aren't specifically my mother. What have we got? Frank asks if this is a comic page about his mom. Teresa's joined us. Hi, Teresa. A short story, a mischievous cat who stole a hot dog. Okay, give me 1 sec. I've got to get the book. See, I'm a little... Oh, the book is in my hand. The book is in my hand. What a day. Okay, so I'm going to put that directly in the book. I have to transcribe all of the suggestions that I got at the con, and I'll show you those in a second, into the book. But that's a fantastically fun suggestion, Teresa. Let's put that down. A mischievous cat who stole a hot dog. Now, I'm thinking that there's at least one moment that Teresa has lost a hot dog to a cat here, because that's the kind of fun story that comes from something like that. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, I've got it in the book. Thank you. In the book. Now, this is the book of tricks. This is where I write down all the one page or short story suggestions that I get from people. However, this weekend, I brought this to the con, and if you can see that there are so many, so many suggestions in here. Dee Dee says, "Hi, Christopher. I peeled off the wallpaper of my grandma's bathroom. Oh my gosh." Happy Day, Teresa says, "Real life adventures." There we go. Everybody says hi to Teresa. Teresa has loads of suggestions. Well, you're always welcome to send them at me. I'll write them all down. Hey, Raul, how you doing? Okay, so yeah, so I don't know how many are in here. I do know that I didn't read any of them. And the reason that I purposely didn't read any of them is to keep it fresh. So this is the ballot. Name, email or contact, and what's your idea. And these are what we had on the table at the show. And like I said, they filled this sucker. So, that's crazy. So I got a lot to transcribe over. So it's good fun in the sun. Raul got the stuff that Dee Dee sent him. That's awesome. Good stuff. Okay. All right. So, anyways, this is today's page. It was drawn in pencil, watercolor, and a jelly pen, jelly roll pen, and then large white regions are ink, painted ink. So, yeah, pretty simplistic page. And then I went into the photo op Shopee and put the text in there and cleaned up the borders, etc., etc. Okay, so let's switch the old overhead. Now, I've got, because it's 3 Prompt Tuesday, that's how I say, I've got one remaining 3 prompt suggestion out of the bag to do. Now, the last 3 that I did went to and were mailed off to Janet M. Young for the zine swap. So I sent 40 zines to Janet at this point, and I've shown them on here before. I don't know where I put my copies, but it's Beavers, it's Vulture, there's Armadillo, and Pegasus. So those are basically the 4 different ones that I did, one of which is a black and white, and the other 3 of which are color. A couple of things, just to show a couple more things really quickly here. Dee says, Teresa says, nice, thank you. And then some big thumbs and smiles. I love that. And then lots of clapping. I want to do prompts too on Instagram, but just do some prompts, buddy. And the problem is whenever posting comes around for me, Instagram is always a hassle to post on. So you might have to try it 3 times for your post to go through. That's a real thing. Teresa's almost done with her zine. Fantastic. That is awesome. I hope you've got enough time to get it off to Janet. Love to see that one. I should try the zines you're talking about. How do you do them? Well, frankly, you can watch a video that Dee Dee did on her channel where she was talking about the process of it. But the gist is, let me see. Hold on. The gist is this, frankly. You take a piece of paper. Okay, I found my sample. So here is Vulture. Now, Vulture Samurai Curious is this one. And it's him talking about how ridiculous it is for a vulture to wear a samurai costume. But I think it's cool. So, anyhow, you draw it on a piece of paper like this. And your last panel is your cover. Your second last panel is your back cover. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that at the end of it all, of equal measure, right? And at the end of it all, you can fold it like so. And when you make a serration down the center, you can then turn it into a book. But again, watch Dee Dee's stream and you'll see the specifics of how to go about doing it. So there's Vulture. That's the Pegasus one. I tried to do double-page spreads on this one. There's Armadillo. Hey, you! And Beavers. Beavers, blinking, boisterous. Armadillo, laughter. Any tool, and then Pegasus, vampire gardener. Vulture, samurai, curious. So that's the 12 suggested words that we turned into 4 things. So, what am I? Oh, Janet says, I showed a zine and the thought process on my channel yesterday. Actually, you know what? I watched that like a nincompoop. I'm such a nincompoop. I watched that. Frank, go watch that. It's on Janet's channel from yesterday. Love a little shameless self-promotion over here. There you go. Well, welcome aboard, Janet's. Always interested to see what Janet's doing next. She's the queen of zine. An amazing zine, colorful too. Thanks, Raul. Schwan guy showed up. The Schwan guy showed up. I don't know what a Schwan guy is, but that's a lot of fun. Happy day on Monkey Island. It's fun to be an artist. I'm going through some self-discovery and really sending myself out of my comfort zone. Exactly. Exciting stuff. I love it. That's the way to do it. Rat is eating ice cream today. Nice. I'll do a zine of my favorite artists like Miro, Picasso, and Caio, but after Inktober. Don't have a lot of time. Wish the day was about like 24 hours long. Stop sleeping. That's a secret. His tail's wagging like crazy. Oh, it's a frozen food delivery. Thank you, Dee Dee. Gotta get the Schwan guy over here. Do you think he delivers as far as London, Ontario, Canada? Because I could use an ice cream. It needs to be sugar-free and lactose intolerant. Or lactose-free, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And boring ice cream. So Lori and I went to an ice cream place in a lakeside town here for one of the Great Lakes, Port Stanley. And they have this fancy ice creamery, and they have 60 kinds of ice cream on the wall. And down in the corner, amongst the dust and the cobwebs, is the single non-sugar ice cream. And it's butterscotch. Surprise! So, okay, the other thing to show you from this weekend, and this is to do with the book coming up to come out. Now these are in binder sleeves. Okay, so if you see this on the edge, pay it no mind. These are the insert pages that I will be signing and doing a little drawing on to go along with people that buy books from the site as soon as it's available. And so we've got all these pages. It's either stuff we couldn't put into the book for whatever reason, or just fun stuff to add to the book. So there's Barney in Rehab. That's why that couldn't go in. There's the Halloween 58, where Mike Myers has Alzheimer's. And a bunch of horror licensed things that I couldn't use. So that's what these all are. Let's see if I'm keeping up. Janet's live was great. Okay, this is, frankly, listen to this. Janet's live was great. Give me insight on what scenes really are. Having no clue, the thought of thinking I had to draw it unless she'd share in public scared me. Stickers, etc. It gave Teresa a lot of confidence. All right, so this is, anyhow, these are those pages that I've been mentioning. So there's big smiles with all the vampire things. It's a compliment, but it's a mixed blessing at the same time, where because this is the Universal Monsters mixed with the Brady Bunch. I think this is frankly D behind that one. There's Frankenstein's the hairdresser, and this one's got Jewel on it. So these are the pages that I'll be signing. There's Chuck Norris, Fashion Runway God, and on the flip side of that is Chris Walken. It's a mixed blessing that I got told. My likenesses are good enough that I should have to get permission from Chris Walken because it's clearly him. It's nice, but at the same time, that's dumb. Anyhow, here we are. So that's something that we had to show this weekend. Okay. There you go. Get creative, girl. This is Janet. She doesn't see it that bad. Not as bad as this. So this is, and the other thing that I had on there, I had twice as many of these, but these are all the things that I do. And if you're looking for having to do large finished compositions, and if you're looking for having to do big works in that all the time, stop it. Because you can take a piece of cardstock. Now, these are pieces from Inktober's that I've done. And so there's an Inktober. These are Inktober's. There's Griselda from Hilarious House of Frankenstein, most pretty lady ever. Kirby. There's Orwell, Gillespie. Here's Freddy. That's Black Pen and Red Pen. That's an Inktober. There's the Count and Brucey from Hilarious House of Frankenstein. There's Mike Myers. So on, so on, so on, etc., 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 etc. Anyhow, so that's some of the Inktovers that I've done, and they range from being really, it's not an Inktober, get out of there. They range from being pretty basic, a Hitchcock here, to, some intricate things. Like this page, this piece of paper, is entirely covered in ballpoint pen, and then I went over with other pens on top of it. And I get the blending technique from putting the mark down and smudging it. So anyways, we had a ton of that on the table that people were picking up. So that's the fun. We got lots of cool things to, from the creators, and met some pretty cool folks, and a couple of people that have tuned in on the stream that I've never met before. So that was good fun, etc., etc. You just wait, Janet. That's awesome. What is the red paper? This is a jelly-plated piece of paper. This is one of my fantastically successful, unsuccessful jelly plating approaches. That isn't. I have no idea what this image was, but it has nothing to do with whatever this is. Pennywise, your talent is boundless. Oh, that's very nice, Teresa. Awesome. You're awesome, Dee. Crow is amazing. Actor who played Pennywise will be the new Crow. Yeah, okay. Making it again. What are they making it again for? Anyways. Okay, so today's suggestions, let's just get down to business. What shall we? So today's 3 prompt is Earth, Plaid, and Paint Palette. Sound examining that. Earth, Plaid, and Paint Palette. So this is fun. Now, a lot of times when I get something to do with the Earth and the Moon, I will showcase them right off the hop in order to contextualize the narrative. So I'm just going to get right into it, guys. I hope you don't mind. But if anybody has any questions or thoughts or anything like that, or suggestions or whatever along the way, shoot them at me. I might take a stop for a second and write down a suggestion just so I don't miss it as it goes by in the chat. But let me know. We're all in this together, folks. Okay. White pencil crayon. Oh, his name is Stanley. That sounds like a good one. Diddy has an idea? All right, Diddy, what do you got? Get in the book. Well, you know what? I got one of the papers, so let's use this. Make the paint palette. All the planets are on the palette. Okay, Raoul's idea is to. Is it Reynolds? Reynolds, yeah. What'd you say? Make, create some mythical creature. Hybrid mythical creature. Okay, I will. Thank you. That's a good suggestion, Raoul. Thank you. I'll put that over there. Now, Didi, make the paint palette. All the planets are on the palette. Have them be planets. Planets are colors. Are you talking about like a star field that lays across the sky with a sort of graph? Like if I have, let's do this. If I place the sun at the center and I say draw the various spheroids, what? Now, I'm being really cheeky right now. This is actually a Sumerian. Oh, I did this wrong. This one is larger. That's Neptune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a Sumerian tablet that has this pattern of shapes on it with a couple of smaller shapes besides. And what it actually is constellation. And we know that the Sumerians knew of the existence of at least 6 planets in our solar system. And that dates back thousands of years ago. So good job, guys. So there we go. All right, so I'm only going to show a couple of moons, but Saturn has, as far as we know, I think it's somewhere in the shape of 40, 42, and Jupiter at this point, which also has a ring, by the way, very tiny ring, has over 60 that we're aware of. Typical paint palette shape, but instead of colors, have the nice planets. Oh, I like yours. I like yours better. So what I was going to do was have a star field move across here, like so. Can you see this? Is it showing up, the lines? I hope so. And then to have, I'm going to do it the right way. And then I have it going across like so. So that each of the spheres in our solar system are in a different palette spot each. That's my thought. 9, yeah. So there we go. So we'll try to make this more elaborate. That's a fun idea, Didi. I like that a lot. See, that's the thing. You got to break your own convention and be open and accessible to other ideas as they come in. I misinterpreted the initial idea that Didi had, but I found a happy accident in the process. But that's a fun idea. Maybe Didi, maybe you should put that in a piece or to explore that further. Anybody that about each of the reservoirs in a paint palette has a planet in it. Consider a divine paint palette. Considering what I do, you'd think there'd be one right beside me. I'm not a maniac. Okay. What if the Earth were flat? What do you mean it's not? What if the Earth were flat? That's Teresa. But her last name is the same as my granddaughter's name. What if the Earth were flat? That's fantastically fun. Okay, it's over there. I put it on the sheet. We'll put it in the book. All right. 9. Hello, Mandy. How are you? Sorry, it's been a while for me jumping on live. I've been sick. This is my first stream in 4 days, man. So you're not behind the curve in any way, shape, or form. But thanks for coming out. I hope you're feeling a lot better. All right, so I've got right off the hop, we've established our breakdown for where the planets are going to go. Let's just keep going on our composition. Earth Plaid paint palette. So we know that we've got Earth as one of these little shapes. There he is. Hi, look at me on the Earth. Okay. So let's get right into our narrative. So we've already got Earth and Plaid, actually, because that's Plaid. And our Earth, Plaid, and paint, we did all 3 in the first panel. Well, that page is done. Next. Let's make a star, shall we? What shall we? Okay. There we go. All right, so I just thought I'd start getting into a composition. Let's have fun. My wife sent me a super cool, fun image of construction downtown in London, which is all London's downtown is. And so I thought I'd pull some elements out of that and start into our first panel with drawing this. So bear with me as we do so. If the Earth were flat, cats would have knocked everything off the edge by now. That is awesome. Next. That is so awesome. That's so true, Janet. I know Corbin would. Corbin, this is Corbin's toy. This is his buddy. This is his little mouse toy that he carries around the house, hollering while he does it. And it's up on it's up on my desk right now because apparently he put it there. But there are times where he'll just hop up with it and then smack it off. The whole point of bringing it up was to hit it. So, okay, Corbin. All right, so let's play. I put the pencil aside. Let's get right into the ink because that's what I'm monkeying about. Now, what I really like in here, and hopefully this is going to show up okay for you. Why don't I just start going that way instead? Let's just go the other way. All right, as I'm looking at some of these cranes and things like that, they've got all of these lines and shapes inside of them that I think are so cool. So let's get some of that into the image. And so drawing, just looking at the negative shapes as opposed to the positive, allows our brain to go in a different direction because we've thrown aside some of those assumptions that we have about how we're perceiving space. If we just look at things as shapes in a composition, it lets us explore and play a little bit with the way that we're interpreting things in our images. Corbin just hopped up to join us. Just a sec. Let me move your stuff out of your spot, buddy. Okay, happy days? Where's your mouse? All right. Corbin will probably be making an appearance in a second. As an owner of 18 Maine Coons and Bengals, and oh my lord, nothing is left of Earth. You have 18 cows. What? Oh, Maine Coons and Bengals and Bengals. Maine Coons. Oh my lord, that's crazy. That's wonderful. Love it. Not crazy like you're crazy. I mean, like just wow. So cool. You are very brave and very powerful, Teresa, to be able to manage that much disorder in a household. The cats are in charge. The inmates are running the asylum. Cats are the worst. I mean, even if you're watching a television show or something, when they think it's time to headbutt you in the back of the head while you're sitting on the couch relaxing, they're going to do it. They're even worse than theater talkers. Okay, so some of those elements that I showed you before about the crane and that more than 18. Oh my lord. Well known for my big orange kittens. There you go. Well, I only have one. Well, I have two, but this is the big one.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Hey, who likes potato salad? My name's Corbin. Hey, what's going on?
The Dee did a drawing of Corbin. She colored an illustration of Corbin as her model there, and she sent it to him. He was right there alongside me as he was opening. Oh, what's this? I see it's got my name on it. Anyhow, until we get it put into a frame, yes, sir. Until we get it put into a frame, it is adorning our refrigerator. So, we love it. Lori loves it. I love it. Thank you very much again, Dee. Corbin says thank you. So, as I'm drawing in these elements for the crane, etc., I'm pulling the ink as I put it down so that we can play with some clouds coming in here, not just having everything be opaque value. Right, bud? You coming to help? Well, you can't do it if you're sitting right on top of the drawing. It's not helping me. This is not helping. Right here. There you go. Nope. Down. Sit. Thank you. So yeah, purr, 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 lick, lick, lick. There you go. So Corbin, is there anything you want to tell anybody? Anything you got up to this weekend? Other than beating your mouse up around the house? I couldn't handle 18 cats. One's enough for me. Toby's a handful. Maine Coons are my favorite. I would like a pet, but my house is too small for pets. I'm watching and enjoying my chocolate vanilla mint tea, which I received today. Oh, that sounds yummy. I'd like to see a horror story of cats ruling the world by shoving everything off the edge of the earth. That would be hilarious. Did I do? Oh, I did Corbin's plans for global domination lately. I did that one, but let's. Okay, I gotta post it. I'm gonna use this. Don't bite the pencil. You can't see what I'm doing. I'll add this to the other paper. It's your flat world. Let's add it to Teresa's. Okay. Stop. Yeah, stuck it on the other one. Okay. You're not helping me, pal. Where are we at? You're welcome. Okay, I'm glad because we love it. That's so fun. Mandy, I'm 100% ready for autumn tea time, everyone. No house is too small. A friend of mine has a van that they're throwing around in, and they've got 2 cats in that. So I'm ready for apple cider. Oh my goodness. Pumpkin spice, that's my addiction. Planning to move next year from Barcelona to either Madrid or a friend in Amsterdam. Or you're in Amsterdam, so a bigger house and a Maine Coon and a Great Dane for me. Oh my goodness. 5 litters right now, a total of 47. Holy guacamole. Corbin, would you like to live in a house with 47 little Corbins? Huh? 47 little cats stealing your thunder. So I'm trying to account for some clouds appearing in the sky as we're working. And this is me rubbing his back as I'm working. Isn't that ridiculous? You spoiled brat. You're spoiled, Corbin. I think you're spoiled. I do. So what I'm doing is that I'm putting in the pieces of information that I need down there. But then at the same time, I'm using some of these smudging techniques. So we're starting to get street lights and the crane. Hold on, give it a second. There we go. Street lights and the crane in the background. Two cats. That's what we got. Pretty good with 2 cats. They're enough. They're enough of an adventure. Mind you, you're clearly, I mean, you're Maine Coons breed. That's really kind of cool because a lot of people like those cats. They're hard to get. Whereas Corbin, you lift up a carpet, you find a Corbin. All right, so you come in and tighten up some of those lines because the smudging took them out. So that makes the street light pop out a little bit. Okay. Well, it's really nice of Corbin to let me be on a stream today. Oh my lord, 20 and 31 pounds. Humans act like dogs. Holy guacamole. Thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up, Corbin. Yeah, Corbin's a big guy. He's a big cat. But I don't know how. pounds he is. He's what do we call? 8.5 kilos. Hey, quit licking my arm. That's fun. Oh, there you go. Look out. There's going to be coons all over the place. Maine coons. Not the side coons, the main ones. You might be misunderstanding that. Okay. Alright, so let's continue with these clouds a little bit more. See more shapes out of them. I can't tell you how many pieces that I've done over the years that have my fingerprints all over them. My fingerprint was necessary for my safe locked up with all my bazillions of dollars. Whew. Ocean's 11 guys could get right in there. Get right in there, Corbin. Once they got passed by my security. Right? The looking machine, stop it. So this is the secret sauce, if anybody's ever wondering. How does Chris get so much done? I'm fueled by Corbin's attention. Okay, actually, let's talk about main points while we keep going. Right, buddy? So I'm going to continue. And then we'll make one go up here. So we're just finishing the outline of that second. So the idea with this is to just twofold. One, I like this picture a lot that Lori sent me, and I wanted to draw it. So that I don't need any larger reason than that for why I'm drawing it on the page. But two, I think it's fun to have, just get it right into an image. Just get right into the story without working it and overworking it and considering it too much. I know that the 3 points I need to have are earth, cloud, and paint palette. We've got them in that first panel laid in already. And we'll go back and clean that up. But I still got a story to talk about. And ideally, I want to have it refer back to this. But because where I live has got so much construction going on at all times, which I think construction technologies look kind of cool, I'm going to incorporate some of those into the first panel. Some of those images, the cranes, etc. And at the end of the day, you don't have to have some great plotted direction for whatever it is that you're working up to put in your image. Just start with something. And the rest of it comes together as you go through it. Oh my goodness. This is so awesome to go through this cats. People are reading this in the chat or in the video here. Please do. That's when I'm finding out stuff about cats. I had no idea. I got you from the rescue, and I got baby, and she fit into the palm of my hand. So I'm just putting in some of the patterning for the cream. Hey, looky McGoo, wrap it up. So that's these little patterns and things that I like so much. That's why I want to put them in this. So hopefully that looks like cranes to you. I'll hold it up a little bit for people. So it's not just gonna. There we go. It'll settle in a sec. There you go. So drawing the volume of space outside of the objects and then coming in and putting little highlights here and there is it's no different than drawing with the line art of the it's the positive over negative, negative over positive approach, and it's completely similar in its execution if you just think of everything as shapes of volume and space. Don't over consider too much about the drawing as line art. Just think of the drawing in the regards that we all right. Just think of the drawing in the regards of it being a whole bunch of shapes stacked together. That's your favorite going downstairs. Because it's just the shapes that count. I mean, when you're at the end of the day and trying to figure out how you're doing lighting on objects, you need to think about anything that you've drawn in a three-dimensional form so that you know where the light hits the object. So if you think of any images that you're working on in that regard, that should liberate you in your execution and how you're putting images down. So at this point, let's draw the opposite direction. And Corbin, what do you think of that? When Corbin decides it's time to come sit in the studio, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Right now, go hit the like button. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, that's very nice. I think thanks, Dee as well. You said thumbs up a few minutes ago as well. Thank you. It's very nice. Okay, so I'm just putting in some of this information about the building. It's going up over here. So we'll just get some of that stuff in. And then what I'll do, where's that pencil hat? There we are. What are you doing over there? I'll come in with this. And we're going to fill in those intermediate values. And hopefully that's going to draw enough information into the foreground for people to have some measure of comprehension about the shape and structure of the building. So hopefully it's looking like an apartment building now. I'll put another building in the foreground. Runs to the bottom of our composition. I'll put a cap on the composition right there. Okay, where are we at? 5 now. 6. Well, that's very nice, everybody. Could Y1 up? I'm sorry, Teresa, I'm not picking up on that. It might be a bit to lunch. I'm missing what you're trying to say there. Okay, so I'm just going to put one last little bit of information in here, and that's that cool kind of shape in the foreground. So I've taken liberty with the composition that Lori supplied me. I really focused more on the street light moving over here and crossing over with one of the cranes, well, two of the cranes, and that was my principal focus on the image. So I've rearranged a lot of the elements in it, and I'm good with that. Our source information should be inspiration and guide, but it shouldn't be in charge of what it is that we're drawing and how. Okay, so we'll put some more marks in here and build up some more structures. And that Corbin yarn over there. Corbin says I need more blue. Everybody's a crook. So there's the remains of that crane going in. Oh, zoom in. Hold on, I'll move it up. There we go. Doesn't mean you sit down. Okay. Corbin. All right, come on. Get over here in your spot. You lost your rights. There you go. I'll raise up. I pulled the camera back so that people could see more of what in the world I was up to. But I'll pull the camera back for tomorrow, everybody. I'm sorry. Because if it's too hard for folks to see because it's too far away, I'll change that up. So I'm using a Jelly Roll white ink pen, and I'm using a Studio Sarasa black little felt tip pen and a white pencil pen. Are the three implements I'm using for right now. I'm just trying to get down this building and all of its information. I'm going to fill in the clouds around it. No worries. Yeah, I know I don't mind zooming in on stuff at all. Feel free to ask away. So I hope that everybody's had a good weekend. I hope that everybody's had some time for exploring their own creativity and for doing stuff. The show went really well that I was at this weekend. The creators that were all there were quite pleased, and we had a number of performers and actors and voice actors at the show, and I didn't get a chance to go and say hi to Ferrigno this year. I met him before, so sort of try to sign in the 5 words that I can remember. I'm not very good at signing, and it's a blessing that my brother-in-law is patient with me and sound it out for him. So I'll hold it up again in just a second and explain some of the ways that I'm approaching these words. we go. Okay, so we got a little composition here. My thinking behind this is, as I'm putting in little pieces of detail, I'll hold this up. So as I'm putting in pieces of detail so that you can see the city skyline there, the intention isn't to overly focus on that. What I want you to focus on is the narrative that's going to go across it. But what I'm trying to get is, the kerfuffle of the city. Working from 3 single word prompts, or three prompts from the bag, is very open ended and allows you to really explore whatever it is that you want, as long as you fit those words in, the objects of the words or the words themselves. And I like that liberty that provides, because it's quite compelling as a creator to be able to just do what I want, really. And okay, if people can name off the colors of planets, that would help me out a lot. I know that Neptune is blue and Venus is orange and Mars is red, and so these are paint markers that I'm utilizing. Well, that's kind of pointless to put a red planet on a red page, but this was a fun idea, didn't it? As far as get the red of Jupiter, I'm sure I can make it a little bit bigger. Okay, give that a moment. The color is Saturn, everybody. I'm going with green. It's a really dark green that just shows. It's probably messing with. Yeah. So I'm going to put some of the rings on Saturn here. Just follow the shape of the planet itself. Hold this up again in just a sec. Change my rigging for tomorrow, folks, if it's been difficult to see. I appreciate people appreciate you guys letting me know. Okay, so here is our, let's see, I'll put it right here for you. How's that? Here's our Jupiter coming in. Here's our planets starting to take form. And there's a close up on the image. Ooh, fancy. I love the lip there. What? What in the who's in the hell? Hey. Okay, so I don't know. So I'm just putting spots on spodgy Neptune there. Yeah, it's fun. Hey, what do they call that big large planet in the middle? You don't have to answer. It was rhetorical. I know Steve. It's always about Dave. So this is a Polska, Polska. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to have to go to the Craft Hive in St. Thomas, Ontario. It's the best place I can think of to go and get Polska paints. All right. So, where's that? There it is. All right. So I'm going to do is twofold. I'm going to add some black paint. Start to fill in some of the space around the planets. Now, I know that I don't want it to be too opaque, so what I'm going to do is put a star field over top of it, sort of push it back. But hopefully that's easier to see now for these planets. So you know who calls them planets? Nobody. Just being weird. So I hope that in the course of trying things like ideas like the Z swap and watching some of the effects and some of the approaches that people are taking on whatever streams that others might be watching, I hope that you're taking it as inspiration and information, folks, and that you yourself are trying things. Because I'd love to see what you're working on. So some of that existing material that was down on the page before, I'm not really filling all of that in. I'm just utilizing it. And I love the openings. I love the things like where you have these pieces of texture here, where it's clearly smudgy and you've got the red coming through. Try not to lose that. What's up? Hi, bud. Okay. If you can, allow those sort of things to stay in there, because without making it just an opaque black, it gives our eyes some place to wander. And wandering makes people want to spend more time with whatever it is that you're doing. So the pattern that I put down initially for the plaid, working. Saying, hey man, give me $5. All right. Okay, buddy. Save the rest. Where are we at? Okay, so I'm gonna go in with a blue watercolor for a moment. And the reason that I'm doing that, what are you doing that for, Chris? Nope, you don't like this stuff. I've tried it before. I don't like the watercolor. Is that I'm just bringing a little more. That blue popped in behind the planets. It's just a little bit more pop, a little more interest into the cloud field in behind, or the star field in behind the planets. Just doesn't have to be really opaque either. Just washing it on. But hopefully it will pop through. It might look solid right now, but I'll show you in 2 seconds when it dries, and you'll see that it just becomes this light blue and behind everything. Okay, we'll pull a couple of those planets back out again in a second. So there, I'll hold it up. It's still wet, but you can see how it's just this light value of blue around the planets and the sun. It's the sun, but the big yellow one is the sun. Okay, who we got? Oh, hey, look at Mandy's still here. Hiya, Mandy. And Jim has joined us. Hiya, Jim. I missed your convention update, Chris. I hope you had a good time. It was a nightmare, Jim. It was a nightmare. People were walking up to me in costumes and things that I don't know because I'm old and I'm cool. Okay, here's a fun story for you. I can't see so far away. My glasses, I wear bifocals, but I don't wear them when I'm working in the studio because where my desk is from a big old noggin is my sweet spot, which is the transitional space between I have to read this way with your glasses on because it's a book, and I can't see anything farther than 3 feet away because of nearsightedness. So that's the bifocals. But because this is my sweet spot, a lot of times I'll have my glasses sitting on top of my head. Well, so there was somebody at the show that was walking towards me from about 300 feet away. And I'm like, that person has the biggest head I've ever seen. And what it is that they're dressed up as one of these cute Japanese collectible toys where the toys have the gigantic, like these little princess types and with swords or whatever it is, and little maid-like outfit. Not maid, I guess, would be more like a lot of little fluffy, I don't know what you call it, crinoline or something on the dress. Anyhow, this person's walking towards me, but I can't tell immediately that it's a mask. So I just think this person has the largest head I've ever seen. Because it's a mask of a giant head, anime style head, and weirdest thing, it just weirded me out so completely. That's my silly initial convention story. All right. Boy, we're getting more comments going. Okay, so I'm just going to pull in. So I'm going to tighten up our image into, and I'm still using the singular source. So you can see that I took parts of and rearranged some things, but I took parts from this image here. And now this next panel, and I'm not overly concerned about it being a perfect line because in the little shop of photo, I can bring this down to whatever I wanted it to be, whatever height I need it to be, and just stretch it down if I need it to be. So that's why you'll see me do that, where I'm not overly concerned about everything squaring up exactly, unless it's going to be something like a like one of these flip books like I showed you earlier on, because then, I really do want a uniformity to all the size of all the panels. So because I got this information now that tells me, so much stuff in one supplied source, I can take another part of it and then change our viewpoint, change our perspective in the story, and illustrate that as well. So now I can have some characters roaming around in front of said large construction scene. I can make some of those elements in a construction scene much larger and focus more on the specific foreground. And so in this case, I can tune us in on a guy. So we've got somebody walking in the space here, and so I'm just going to draw them lightly in. And then we can draw another person walking over here. You don't have to be really descriptive. I mean, it can just be pretty straightforward and simplistic. But so I'm going to come in with some more of these elements, these positive and negative elements to build up the composition, because I roughed it in. It's there. We see it. We know where it is. But finding multiple images out of the same source allows us to tap more into our head. Jim, do you have a question of the day? Yeah, come on, Jim. He usually does. Things like, hey, Chris, what's your bank account number? And what's the first pet you owned in the street you grew up on? That's what we were asking on Frank's Stream last night, where he interviewed Mr. Jim Luan. And what is honestly the most chaotic and fun discussion I've ever seen on the stream. Good fun. There we go. Question of the day. What are your feelings on jazz? Okay, everybody, here you go. Thank you very much for the question of the day, Jim. I'll leave that up for a moment. What are your feelings on jazz? Anybody who's been watching this for a while knows how I feel about jazz. Mandy loves jazz music. There's a band in Canada called the Violent Films, and they have a song called I Like American Music. Do you like American music? I like American music too, baby. The video has a cavalcade of images of all kinds of stuff on American history of jazz and so on and so forth. So good fun. Good fun. Okay, Mandy loves jazz music. Gary says, A, answer. Jazz hasn't ever clicked with me. It's possible, likely. I've never had the right introduction or exposure to it. Mandy's been listening a lot to Elvis. There you go. My favorite jazz album to suggest to people is Dizzy at the Riviera. Because it's a pretty easy step into jazz music. That, or ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bit Bacharach, Elvis Costello. So I'm just putting in some shapes and some building this up. What we've got are two characters that we drew down in here. Let's give them a little something. A little bit of what now, hey now. So a little more detail to it. Okay, so we've already got a couple of people walking in the foreground of this image. So hopefully, because of people's general comprehension of scale, and if they've ever been to a city or seen video of a city and understand how large cranes and things can be, the fact that we're now cutting down and we've replicated these kinds of shapes, but we've made them much larger in volume. So hopefully people are going to be like, oh, I get it. We're zooming the camera in. Zoom. So I'm just picking and choosing geometric shapes and sticking those in here. Softer versions of them with the pencil, not showing up too well. Mandy says he pulls a lot from country, blues, and jazz. This is referring to Elvis. I used to play in jazz band back in high school. Nice. Nice. What did you play, Mandy? What instrument did you play? Let me be more specific. So I'm putting some more of these geometric crossing lines and building up some of these elements so that it, it's that complexity part that I usually talk about. You want to keep the viewer's eye interested. So if you need to add more elements of complexity for them to do so, then allow yourself that. Yeah, I've asked Mandy what instrument she played in jazz band at high school. Were you a flautist? There's a cool book that I read in the last few years called Blue Like Jazz. I tend to describe the allowance of improvisation in your work in correlation to jazz. Allow yourself that experimentation and that not sticking to conformity. Baritone. Oh my goodness. You played a trombone with valve keys? I played the baritone horn in high school. Not in high school, I'm so sorry. In elementary school. I don't want to lie to everybody and say the wrong year. So I'm just having fun, just drawing some shapes and some elements. I haven't been feeling too good today, so probably picked up some kind of bug from somebody at the show. That's all right. It's just God's way to hold me back from global domination. Anybody else have any instruments that they play? And have they considered playing them in a jazz band? There's a fun Kids in the Hall bit. It's where Bruce McCullough comes out on stage and he says, And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bruce McCullough. The spotlight hits him and he stands in the center of the stage and he says, I don't like jazz. There, fine, I said it. Jazz schmazz, I'll go that far. He just talks about the dumbest reasons for not liking that kind of music, and it's largely because of the people that think they're so cool because they play it. Such an adolescent perspective on why he doesn't like something. I just think it's so fun. Kids in the Hall were really provocative when they were on air. They also had a sketch with Bruce in the same regard where he comes out and Dave Foley's with him, who was here in London this weekend at the show. And he says, ladies and gentlemen, something really strange has happened this weekend, this week at the Kids in the Hall. We discovered something we really didn't think was possible, but anyways, Bruce McCullough, everybody, come on out, Bruce. Bruce, you know what you got to say. And then Bruce goes, what? And he goes, say it, Bruce. And he goes, what? That thing we discovered. You know what we're talking about. And he goes, oh, okay. And he goes, say it, fine, I'm gonna. I'm sorry I caused cancer. Just the dumbest bit. And bear in mind, please, I've had cancer, so I know how real cancer is, but I'm sorry for causing all that cancer. Why? Because it made everybody not feel great. It hurt a lot of people, and I'm sorry for it. And I'm not going to do it again. So they'd have ridiculous sketches like that, those guys. Kids in the Hall, if you ever looking for some silly fun, it's an amazing Canadian comedy troupe out of Toronto. What? We're back to the climbing all over me crap. Okay, come on, hurry up, Corbin. Get some. All right, sit down. I'm trying to work. He's helping. He truly believes he's helping. Kissy kissy again. There we go. Hey, cut it out. I need the pants. That comedy show also made a claim that they were funded through the Canadian military. Good silly fun. Again, oh, hi Miriam, welcome aboard. Leave the pens alone. Okay, so now I'm trying to suggest that these people are walking below the construction barriers that are in front of this field of construction. So that's been my intention here. So we'll just fill in some of those elements, and then we'll put a little bit of that cloud approach that I've done in this panel. We'll push that a little bit into here, just to sort of concretely situate the fact that this is the sky. Muriel did a painting on the weekend at the beach that she's posted that is quite lovely, folks. Please go check out Muriam's, I'm so sorry. Miriam's painting, it's wonderful. Sitting on the beach, painting from real life. That's the way to do it. right, so hopefully that's selling that this is sky in and around this building. So forcing the viewer to follow the visual ideas that we're pushing along. So I'm curious as to what everybody's working on and what everybody's got going on right now. Minnie hasn't played since high school. I just noticed that you draw your negative space. I do. I draw in negative quite a bit, actually. And I just I have fun doing that. There's some fun to that. Okay. Corbin. Thank you, Corbin, for being so helpful today. Okay. Can I work on the next part? Put the pencil down at the center. There we go. So we're going to zoom in again. So we're going to move from here into here. And now we're going to pull that element out and focus on this character as they're walking by, right? What do you think of that, Corbin? And we're taking the same approach and pulling him up as a positive element and drawing up a negative space. But we're going to focus that camera in the camera of our composition camera. So we can kind of let's call it that. Hey, it's not helping. That shoulder in. Now we got that there. Let's the page that I posted today, I really like to play with the positive negative space in that one as well, the mother page. Putting Amelia someplace. So hopefully we're seeing the face come out now. We got lots of suggestions I showed earlier in the stream for those that are joining later on. I got an entire bucket full of suggestions from folks at the convention this weekend, and we'll be incorporating those into our flow here. Now today is 3 from Tuesday, and so because of that, I'm not doing one of those suggestions yet, but I will be tomorrow. And I'm debating on whether or not I put them all in the book or if I just pull something out of the bucket. What's more exciting? If it's out of the bucket, that means the cool suggestions that I get from people in the stream are going to keep pushing the bucket stuff back. If I write it all in the book, I can't stick my hand in the bucket. Challenges. So I'm bringing out little layers in order to thicken up the white on our character here. Thinking about where the shadow is cast, where muscles and form are on the neck. So I'm drawing our guy here. I use my finger to tamp down the value as I put it down, so it's not so flat and sharp and opaque. It allows me to have a little more control of the gradation in the image. And then now, I want to focus on crisp and clean whites. I do so in the shirt, just to give us different sense of surface. Surface! Right, Corbin?
Yep. Hey, did you know that I'm a cat?
But I knew that. This is one of the perks of being, the size that I am, is that my cat sits in my lap. Because I'm 5'18", I just look over top of him. And he doesn't disrupt me as much as I think he's probably hurt when he does. Some of these little ones up front here. Talked to a couple of people about new illustration opportunities as well, so that's exciting. I hope we'll hear back from them. Okay. Mandy says that they've got some new drawing books to start drawing on. That's fantastic. That's awesome news. I like that. So I'm going to put a couple of pieces of information going through here. Fill up this composition a little bit just to give it a little more, something a little more interesting and complex in the background. I'm biting the pencil. Okay. And then we'll draw the area. Have you got any idea what you're going to do with that, Mandy? Or your drawing books? Or you're just going to start cooking? Don't bite the pen I'm using. Don't hit the pen I'm using. You're just going to be improvisational like jazz and just start cooking some images in that there book. So I'll get this set for that. So some of the textures in that, in the jelly plating process, come out of the paper when working flat images over top. And I always find that fun because it's just textures for the sake of being textures. It's hard to color with a cat in your face. Or is this, are you gonna, how many people, if people are up to answering this, how many people are considering taking part in Inktober, and which Inktober suggested list are you considering using? Is there the hip list for the cool kids? Is there any purists that say you have to use this one in order for it to count? So I'm just putting some random shapes in there. How come, Chris? Man, I'm glad you asked me that. Whoops. Just because. Those random shapes allow the viewer's eye to move around. It plays on that sense of realism that, it's not so easily defined, the image, with background information. But it makes it look like we know what we're doing. Mandy says, I'm going to need something to do this winter and during recovery, a possible surgery coming for my neck and back. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll all be praying for you, Mandy. Holy camole. Janet does anything she wants for Inktober. I'm doing Stinktober, butts on things coming up. That's a great idea, Janet. I like that a lot. That's fun. Okay, I got a Stinktober. I might do my own prompt for it. I got an idea of what I'm going to do, but we'll see. I'm still going to, so what I'll do is I'll post Inktober pages right after, like that's the second post. Like I'll post the one page and then you swipe the screen and then you see the Inktober. I think that's how I'm going to do it. If you're going to do it correctly, you can't do it that way. Rules. So now I'm coming in with this black Posca marker. And I'm just picking and choosing a couple little bits of information to pull out. The suspenders. Again, just some more shapes in this background notification or poster or whatever it is. Whatever it is, Corbin. Janet says, a great person suggested it. How could I refuse? That person's a maniac. Don't you think so, Corbin? Okay, so where are we at? We're about an hour 32. I've got to step away. Because I'm not feeling good, I got to keep on top of my blood and all that stuff, my blood sugar. So, Corbin, do you want to continue for me? No, he's not answering. He's not being much of a help. Either way, I think what we're going to do is we're going to sign off for now for today. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'll post this page tomorrow on Instagram and Facebook. And tomorrow we are going to start, I think, with picking a suggestion out of, whoops, I'm sorry for washing that out. A suggestion, one of these crazy amounts of suggestions that came in the box all weekend. So, yeah, we'll see what we come up with here. And that means I'll be doing some licensed images and the like. Now, I'll be doing Inktober pieces in addition to the one-page stories throughout the month of October. I'll just be posting the Inktober as a second image. And I'll get Corbin to help me with them. Maybe we'll get some paw prints in there, right? We can do that, pal. And I think that might be fun. But if there's a specific prompt list that anybody suggests that I follow, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to be drawing random whatever. Maybe some things with butts on them, like Janet. But so yeah, if there's a specific list to follow, yeah, sure, whatever. But I hope that everybody's just having fun in the process. You don't have to do Inktober. You don't have to finish Inktober if you started. But it's just another avenue for you to have fun and to challenge yourself. So allow yourself that if you've any interest in that front. And if it's too much, don't do it. But I think I'm going to sign off for now and get a couple things done. I hope everybody has a great day. I'm missing some stuff. The whole point is just to get you drawing with ink. There you go. Mandy might pull out some alcohol ink for some cool backgrounds. I think that sounds like a great idea. Jim says, feel better. Yeah, I caught something clearly. Sorry you're feeling puny, Christopher. Go take a nap with Corbin. Janet, stop looking through my window. That's exactly what I plan on doing. Yeah, because he's ready for sit-down time. So we're going to go and do that. Listen, I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and hanging out with me today. I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, if you're working on stuff or if you've got any ideas or anything like that and you want to share them, please feel free to do so. I'm not hard to find. I'd love to see them. And any way that I can help anybody on their journey, let me know. But I hope that whatever you do, you find some creative way to express yourself. It's very important for our health. Okay, that's it for me. I'll see you tomorrow at 2. Thanks very much. Bye for now.